Hello, boys and girls. This is Mr. Brisson. Of course, we're going to be doing another science lesson. So thank you for joining me today. And I'm going to have to wear the mask because I have students in the classroom. So I cannot take it off. So hopefully the sound is going to be okay. Last lesson, we talked about different landforms. And you had a long list of different landforms that you identified, and also landforms, and you sort of guessed how you thought they were formed, how you thought they were made, okay? Well, today, we're going to specifically talk about how some of those landforms were made, okay? So let's go ahead and go over the learning target. The learning target is I can you see it? I can explain how water created different landforms. So I can explain how water created different landforms. Whoa, I was going down on that line. But anyways, that would be the target today, and that's what we are trying to accomplish, okay? Water creating landforms. Have you ever heard of the Grand Canyon? Have you? Well, there are many national parks in the U.S., and the Grand Canyon is one of those. And it's one of the favorite national parks for children and parents and everyone to visit, okay? The Grand Canyon. And what I want us to start today by doing is, I want us to take a virtual tour. So since we cannot go to the Grand Canyon in person, right now, I'm sure you could do it, with your parents or when you grow up. But today we're going to take a virtual tour, okay? You're going to use your computers. You're going to pause this lesson and use your computers to take a virtual tour. So I want you to click on this specific link, okay? That long link over there that says Virtual Tour and Ranger Programs, Grand Canyon National Park, U.S. National Park Service, okay? So you're going to click on that. The website should look like this, all right? And if you scroll down, you will see there that says Virtual Tour Ranger Programs. Well, I want you to take the virtual tour that is called Phantom Ranch, okay? Because you could take different tours of the Grand Canyon, but this one is Phantom Ranch, which is actually going down in the canyon if you were hiking down, okay? So you're gonna click on that virtual tour. You see right here where I'm clicking? Okay, and once you click on that, you wait a moment and it's gonna say Phantom Ranch Tour, okay? And you just go with the arrows and it's gonna take you a tour as if you were actually in the Grand Canyon. So pause this lesson and take the tour of the Grand Canyon, or of that part of the Grand Canyon. What do you think? Pretty interesting, huh? It is actually a wonderful place. It's just, you cannot even imagine how unique this place is. And you could see from some of those pictures, all the special features that the Grand Canyon has, okay? So since we are talking about landforms that were created by water, I thought that this would be a great beginning to our lesson, okay? So now, let me go through the learning target one more time to make sure that we are clear about what we are learning today. One more time, the learning target is, I can explain how water created different landforms. So we know already that water created landforms, but what we want to examine today, what we want to investigate today is how water created these landforms, okay? So there is your target, and that's what you are supposed to be reaching today. To continue our lesson, I want you to open a document that is called Notice and Wonder. Do you see Notice and Wonder? So when you open that document, it looks like, where is it? Okay, Notice and Wonder. It looks like this, okay? It has pictures of different landforms, and then after it says, what did I notice? You see? What did I notice? And what do I wonder, or what questions do I have? So you're going to open that document, you're going to pause this lesson, open the document, and you're going to go through all 4 different landforms, okay? The first one is a cavern, which is sort of like a cave. The second one is a canyon, which you already saw on the Grand Canyon. The third one is a valley. Oh, did I only have 3? No, I think it's 4. Let me see. No, it's only 3. So it's cavern, canyon, and valley, okay? And you are going to be writing the things that you notice and the things that you wonder about these landforms. So pause the lesson and complete that sheet. I'm sure that by now you already figure out that the cavern, the valley, and the canyon were formed by water, okay? Now, the question here today is, how did water create this, okay? How did water create it? Was it something that happened in one night or in one day, in a few hours? You know, how long did it take? How did water create that? How can water create such a huge hole in the ground that it's almost 2 kilometers down? You know, how did that happen with water? How is water that powerful, okay? So what I'd like you to do next is to answer that question in your notebooks, okay? From information that you have in your brain, things that you've learned in the past or movies that you have watched, documentaries, how do you think that water created a cavern or a canyon or a valley when those things are so deep? How was it created? So explain, you know, in your words. I think they were created when the water did this and that and that. And also talk about how long did it take, okay? How long did it take for water to create these landforms? So pause the lesson, go to your notebook, and answer that question. I want us to read part of an article that I found. I just want us to read it together, okay? And it's called, that section of the article, it's called Erosion by Water. So let's go ahead and read it together so that we can get a little bit more information now. Water is the main cause of erosion on Earth. Erosion. That word is extremely important today. Erosion. Okay? Water is the main cause of erosion on Earth. Although water may not seem powerful at first, it is one of the most powerful forces on the planet. Here are some of the ways that water causes erosion. Rainfall. Rainfall can cause erosion both when the rain hits the surface of the earth, called splash erosion, and when raindrops accumulate and flow like small streams. Rivers. Rivers can create a significant amount of erosion over time. They break up particles along the river bottom and carry them downstream, okay? Also waves, the ocean waves, can cause the coastline to erode, okay? And wave causes pieces of rock and coastline to break off. So the first thing we have to do is actually define erosion. What is erosion? And then we have to put water and erosion together. So let's look at this definition over here on an online dictionary, okay? Specifically, let's look at the second part of the definition. It says, the process, oh man, one moment. Keep going here. The process by which the surface of the earth is worn away by the action of water, glaciers, winds, waves. So tomorrow we're going to talk about glaciers, winds, and waves. Today specifically water. So it's the process by which the surface of the earth, so the top of the earth, is worn away by the action of water. And you should write that down in your notebooks. What is erosion? So it is a process in which the top part of the earth, the surface of the earth, is worn away by the action of water and other things. But today specifically we want to concentrate on the force of the water. So now your job is to put erosion, water together, okay? And what I want you to do in your notebooks is I want you to explain, okay? Explain how erosion, okay, how erosion formed those canyons, the caverns, and the valleys. How did erosion with water formed the canyons, the caverns, and the valleys? Those three pictures that you saw at the beginning. Now I want you to explain how water erosion formed them. And the other thing that I want you to explain is how long did it take for this water to form such a deep canyon? Was that something that happened with one rain? In one day the river went by and just opened this huge hole in the ground? About how long do you think it took? So when you write that explanation in your notebooks, also talk about how long did it take for these things to form? What do you think? Actually, before you start writing the definition, I want you to watch a short video that is called The Power of Water. So click on that video, and that should take you to a YouTube video that will give you all the information you need, okay? And then write the explanation. So how did it go? Did you write a really long, good explanation full of facts and things that you learned? So as you already watched and as you were able to see from the tour of the Grand Canyon, it took millions and millions of years for these things to happen, okay? There's just no way. So water is powerful, but it's powerful, it's even more powerful after many years doing the same thing. The river running in the same area, it makes the canyon deeper and deeper and deeper. And after a lot of rain falling, it's going to make things erode. But it takes millions of years for these things to happen, okay? Now, today we looked at water, okay, and how water does this. Next time, we're going to look at some other forces that erode the earth. And we're going to look at another word called weathering, okay? So for next lesson, we are going to talk about weathering and other forces like wind that really has made our planet the way that it looks today, all right? So I'll see you next time. And remember that science is everywhere. So look out for science, all right? See you. Bye-bye.